All right, kid. This is the face of the enemy, but you're a wrecking machine, and you gotta take him all the way to the mat. You got that? You got the heart, kid. One, two, chase the ticket.
Oh, hi, everybody. It's Benjie, and this is the last time you'll see my face. Wasn't that a funny little intro? Take it to the mat. Do you get the pun? Well, it did take me to the mat. This is actually not the video I wanted to do. I did the whole thing. I matted this from scratch, and I trusted the internal mics on the G100D, and didn't work out. But this will be better. It'll be briefer, more concise. Look at that. I'm a mess now. I'm just a mess. What is this? What's going on here? Well, we're going to talk about matting our fine artwork, or this will work for your photography as well. I personally don't mat my photographs. I use these format branded frames or similar, just the pop-in glass at the front. They go everything. It's simple. But if you needed to mat your photograph, this method will work as well. You know, if you're an archivist or you work in a frame shop, you might cut my head off about the way I go about it, but this is my tried and true. I've never gotten a complaint. And so here we go. So I sold this piece of my artwork recently, and I actually haven't sold my old original stuff in quite some time. So I'm a little out of practice with matting and whatnot. But I broke out all the old stuff again, my stock of mats from Matboard Center. And here we go. So these are the things we're going to use. We have our mat. We have a backing board. They came as a set. Again, I bought a big, huge stock of these more than a few years ago. I use these see-through archival mounting strips, Lineco or Lineco. I don't even know if this company exists anymore, but I have a big old box of them. And they are basically a foam strip with a clear retention kind of panel on it, and that's going to hold us in. Cloth tape, archival cloth tape. Archival meaning acid. It's the paper, the adhesives and whatnot, don't all the nasty shit that's going to eat away at your piece of artwork. So you want to look for acid and lignin free, archival, those sorts of words and descriptions for any materials you're using for this sort of thing. Gotta get a special pen. This one is for actually signing photographs, but it works for this purpose. It is the Zig Photo Signature. And a pair of scissors. If you have a pencil might come in handy. So the way this one worked, I marked off where I wanted it to sit on the backer board. And with this pen, blah, blah, blah. And you might assume, well, it's just going to be centered into that panel, right? That's what I want. Not necessarily. With a portrait or perhaps a landscape or something of that nature, that'll generally work. You can just kind of, I'll center it and it'll be fine. But on fine art and some trickier things and maybe some photography and then things as well here and there, like street photos, you're going to lose a little something in one direction or another. Like something's going to get lost. So this at dead center, I felt I was losing too much of this figure's head. So I decided to actually push it off to the left a little bit. I'm losing the toes. I'm a nice guy, you know. I'm not going to take your head. I just want to take your toes. I just want your toes. Love me. But yeah, we're gonna be nice and we're gonna be nice this time and just take your toes. But there you have it. And then it looks centered in here, and there's still enough meat on the mat. Meat on the mat. To hold things in place. So after you have it marked off where you want to go, we want to apply these foam strips. Now I think the way they're designed, because they have a big fat clear piece, if you can't see the clear, you can see where my finger is ending. And that's if you have a large print and the boundary of the print, the white, let's pretend this is a print's boundary, goes all the way there. It doesn't matter if you're going to hold it in like that. But on this, if I use all of that strip and I want to get it fairly close to the edge of the foam, I don't want the foam touching it, but I want it close to the edge of the foam, this is going to penetrate beyond the mat, and we'll see it. We'll see it in the frame. We don't want that shit. We don't. So I trim these down, and I'm going to, well, this won't be a sacrifice. I'll still get to use this one. And I trim them down really far because I just want to barely kiss this piece. I want it just to come over just enough to retain the image, the piece, the paper, the photo, whatever it is in here. And if you can kind of see, there's a line just beyond the foam. And that's what I'm going for. I'm gonna go just a little bit beyond that with my trusty Jot scissors from Dollar Tree. I love these Jot scissors because they work really well with everything. And if I use them on something abusive like plastic, it's not like when I used my mom's Fiskars on paper when I was a kid and got the hell beat out of me. So there you have it. It's going to be like this. And then there's a peel and stick back here. We're going to peel that off. I'm not going to peel this one off. And I split these because I don't need this whole thing for this small piece. For larger pieces, you might. So is 2 of these, top and bottom. You just kind of want to be careful and just kind of, after you have that peeled off, again, you're just kind of barely touching, putting it down, woo, or pretend the adhesive's on there, and give it a nice rub down on there. And that's it. And then just repeat all the way around. Cut, peel, stick, don't touch. You want a little bit of breathing room. If you notice, this floats a little bit. Some people might argue with me with this, but that's for humidity, room conditions, temperature, things like that, to allow for some expansion and contraction and whatnot. And generally, the tension of these holding it down, and then the weight of the mat once it's on top of it, and then once this gets framed, that compression is pretty much going to hold it in place and still allow some room for expansion and contraction. So I like to leave a little bit of room for it to float. I've opened up some older prints that are matted, and it's just like Fort Knox, and you almost have to destroy the thing to get it out of there. What's nice about these, if someone wants to change this out, easy enough. And we'll talk about this section in a second, but they just open up the book. You can either remove one of these genteelly or just kind of slip it out of the little clear plastic clasp and then put it in whatever you want. Maybe you just want to put it in a simple frame like one of those format frames or whatever it is. But this is modular and you can work with it. And if you want to change out the print or whatever's contained therein, it's fine. By the way, this print, how I make these, they're photo collages. Little side. So this is actually a mannequin from an old antique store. I don't remember where the dolly came from. This is a little like hokey tchotchke about this big from a thrift store, like a little figurine. The background, I believe, is a photograph taken straight from the TV of the movie Le Samurai. And then I make a photo collage, and then I create line art from that photo collage. I print out that template, and then I hand color it. So those are my originals, and then I also make prints of these. That was my regular thing about 10 years ago. That sort of was my main artistic outlet I was doing and focusing on for a little while. Do I have a couple left originals, maybe, floating around? I might make some more prints as well. But that's what this is. This one's called My Little Man. My little man with scissors in his pocket. You can interpret whatever you want from that. But we have one last little thing to do here, which is this gate. And again, to kind of keep it all floating. Who the hell is this? Get him out of here. Keep everything kind of floating and modular. All I do is line this up. Make sure that's nice and even and tight. You cut a strip of this cloth, archival cloth tape. I think it might even be called mat board tape, but just make sure it's like an acid-free adhesive, a friendly adhesive, a medium friendly adhesive. Roughly cut it to size, shwoop, and you just make a hinge. And that's all this is. It's not elaborate. Just a hinge. And then we're done. Boom. And the only thing left for me, I'm going to slip this into a poly bag, put it in a box securely, and ship it out. And there she goes. And ideally, you want to put your info. I like to put it in there again, at least my name, the title, and then I like to put it on the back as well in case someone opens it up. They immediately know who did this. And there it is. And you do want to do a little slippage test after it's in there to make sure it's still staying where you want. Just kind of move it in all directions, and we're still centered to where we are, even though, as I mentioned before, we left that little bit of space in there for expansion and contraction. But once that thing's down, and especially once it's framed, and especially if someone's holding it, but let's not even hold it firmly. Still shift it around. It's still holding in place. So there we go. That's how I mat. Maybe you can do it for either one of your prints, one of your photographs, or even if you're doing drawings and such like this, or this sort of odd digital mixed media kind of thing that I've done. Perhaps that will work out for you too. I think it's the simplest way to do it. It's the friendliest way to do it. It's the least invasive way to do it. And if you screw it up, you're not in the hole. If you screw it up, you can kind of backtrack a little bit and correct. So I like this method with the archival mounting strips, the simple hinge, and this cloth tape. All right, I hope that was helpful to you. Maybe it will show you what you don't want to do. That perhaps that's the case. But if you like my video, please like my video. Subscribe to my channel. I'm a photographer. I'm an artist. I have really fun outfits I like to wear on the weekend to do all that stuff, all that crazy thing. So, yeah, you keep an eye out for this guy, for this guy. Heck, you keep an eye out for this guy. Let me tell you what, because this guy is up and coming. He's an up and comer, and he's coming up. Subscribe.